If fantasy and romance are what you seek, featuring heroines who aren't quite so meek, with book talk and Instagram full of deceit, simply listen to our podcast, Our Picks of the Week.
I think you're witnessing the corruption of Jordan.
Yes, that is 100% what has happened. I don't know what came over me, but
It was the spooky vibes.
Yes, it was the spooky vibes. Also, I think I needed therapy from Ice Planet Barbarians.
Fair.
So this book, readers, it's called Wed to the Lick by Layla Fae, which is Fae, F-A-E, the way you would expect it to be written. This, I don't truly know what came over me, only that the best comparison I can have is this is like a standard Hershey's milk chocolate bar, and sometimes you start eating it and you eat the whole fucking thing and you never want to touch one again for like months on end, but it like satisfies that like fake chocolate sugar craving. That's what this book was for me. I'm like a Godiva girl. Like, give me my fancy overpriced Swiss chocolate, but on this day I fell for Hershey.
At least you're honest about it.
So
I just imagine you curled up in the corner, like hissing at people.
That's kind of what happened.
Shamefully eat your Hershey bar.
All right, it's mostly wax, but
my
at this
God.
point you don't care. Like, it's going into my body. All right. So a couple trigger warnings for this book for people who don't read this stuff as much as like I don't read this a lot either. So I was a little surprised,
Perturbed.
I will say it's very explicit. It's quite spicy. It's not as like explicit in frequency as Ice Planet Barbarians was.
Oh, okay.
But when I say there are extreme trigger warnings, the author does a very, very good job at outlining these in the very beginning. So the main heroine of this book deals with extreme emotional psychological abuse as a child, and she suffers from severe anorexia.
Oh.
So she's also like a ballerina, and so there's like body dysmorphia things going on, but there's also like an extremely unhealthy relationship with food, like forced upon her by her upbringing and her teachers and her foster family. And so I appreciated the trigger warnings because having dealt with some of those issues myself, I'm like, okay, well, I know exactly what I'm going into. And I will say that the author did an excellent job at portraying these issues very, very realistically. So for something that on the surface it's called Wet to the Lick, like
you don't expect,
you would think like, oh, this is like this is a checkout. There's not a lot here. There's a lot of like well articulated tough things that are handled in the story. And so if you as a reader have any of those, have a history with that or are sensitive to those topics, some people like find therapy in reading about it and experiencing, like finding other people to talk about it who have also experienced it and like feeling seen and feeling like people understand what you have gone through. I'd say that this book does a really good job at doing that, is reading a character that's going through something like that. If you yourself has done it, like, oh, this is not just me suffering alone. There are other people out there. So on the serious note, that's handled very, very well. It's very triggering, like very, very triggering. So
I'm glad that trigger warnings are a thing now.
yeah, it needs to be. I feel like there's some older books that should have had trigger warnings, like Daughter of the Horse comes to mind. The trigger warnings out of the way. This is a weird book for me because on the surface, I never would have touched this. It takes place in modern dystopian future.
Whoa.
So in our Earth world, it's a new name. There are parallel universes that have basically aligned with Earth.
Oh, okay.
All the gates have opened, and now these other universe populations have settled on Earth because they can't find their way back home. So these populations include like stereotypical monsters and fairies, and so we're talking like basilisks and vampires and werewolves and licks.
I did not know that's how you pronounce that word.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Can we find out? Is
Is
it like?
I don't know if we want to find out.
Is it like or lick? I can't keep calling that lick if it's wrong.
I think lick is funny enough to hopefully be true.
Oh, no. So, well, you are searching for that. So that is the background, and you get a very nice, like, 2-paragraph intro, like, prologue. It's not quite a prologue because it's the same prologue. I've read the other books in the series at this point. I've tried to.
I love that.
So you get the same, like, this is the world that you're living in, so you have an expectation for what, like, the language is going to be like.
Oh, okay.
It's like a weird mix of modernisms. Like, there's some technology, like there's some running water and some electricity, and some people who are, poor farmers digging in the dirt with nothing, right? And so these monster populations have, like, taken over the world, and they run the show now, and humans are, like, the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh, shit.
They're slaves or servants, or they're barely scraping by, and they serve. It's like a feudal system almost.
Yeah.
Werewolves control one part of the world and vampires the other. And then some monster populations have a greater population than others.
Mm-hmm.
In this book, is it Lich? Lich? Fuck me.
No, I like lick. Continue. It's
no, I
appropriate.
can't. So the Lich is this. Among monsters, he is the monster.
The Shadow Daddy.
The Shadow Daddy. Like, if you want a Shadow Daddy, read this fucking book, because the Lich brings death wherever he goes. If you make eye contact too long, he can kill you, basically, like, just by looking at you. But he controls the death glare, in a sense. And he's got shadows that basically swarm things and kill things. And so he is the ultimate Shadow Daddy. As part of this world rebuilding thing for the monster populations, there is a temple that the humans have created, and it is like a marriage temple where
I love everything about this. Please continue.
It's so ridiculous. So at this temple, the monsters go to the temple and ask the priestesses, hey, find me a bride, like a human bride, because I can't find one in my own population due to when we immigrated here to Earth, there's no women, or it's just not working for me.
Yeah.
And so the priestesses, like, match them with virginal women, basically.
Of course. Match.com.
Yeah, exactly. And these human women, get money sent to their families, and that's their agreement. Like, they give themselves to a monster in exchange for the family getting taken care of, because humans are really suffering on this planet. So our heroine, I don't remember her name. So she basically runs away from home, grew up in a family in, like, this weird, like, you get the sense, oh, the girls are abused and like forced to perform kind of things. Yeah, it's a very, very tragic backstory. So she runs away, joins the temple, and she's like, please pair me with someone. She's got extreme, like, body image issues. So she thinks even the monsters don't want her. It's like,
baby
cakes, poor sweet girl. So she's huddling, and she's, like, nearly dead. Like, that's how severe her anorexia is. She hasn't eaten in days. She can barely stay upright. And so she's waiting in, like, the wedding chamber for the monster to walk in with the priestess. And even the priestess is like, you really want to marry this witch? He can kill you. And so she's, like, huddled in there, like, please, someone marry me. And he walks in as, like, the bringer of death. He recognizes that she is so close to death herself. He, like, uses his shadow powers to comfort her and, like, bring her life and keep her upright. He can't believe that anyone wants to marry him. She can't believe that anyone wants to marry her. And it's these two broken people who, like, have so much trauma themselves. Like, he's been alone for centuries, wealthy beyond imagination. And he's so grateful to her, and she's so grateful to him. But, like, it's this very sweet kind of miscommunication where they both want to take care of each other, but they each have, like, their own issues, and they don't want to bring it to the relationship. So all it is these two broken people coming together and learning about each other and saving each other. And so that's the entirety of the story. It's very short. It's like 250 pages.
This feels so sweet for it to be, like, masquerading as, like, a monster smut romance.
It is oh my God, I forgot. Explicit. I want to say there's some anatomical things that are different as well.
Yeah.
That's
the whole monster thing.
Yeah. So you do have to kind of look away, but I'd say this is probably the most approachable monster romance. Fair. Like, there's none. Like, he doesn't have horns. He doesn't have two.
Yep. Jordan is making a peace sign sideways.
So yeah, it's a nice foray into the monster romance genre. It's short, it's sweet, lots of trigger warnings, lots of sweet, like, emotional things along the way.
I feel like if you enjoyed it, this would be
like a good first introduction to monster romance if you like hear the hype, but you're like, I don't know about this. Like if Jordan read it, if this is a good, starting point.
I will say I did try to read the other books in the series and other books by this author in like different series, and it's not quite clicking for me the same way. So part of it, I think, is this character just really resonated with me in the storyline. Some of the other characters are like not quite as likable. So I feel like if this particular character, this heroine, doesn't speak to you, maybe try some of the other books in the series, because like there's one that's like a much stronger heroine who's like right off the bat like, I'm marrying you for the money, send it to my family, and I'm getting out of this marriage as soon as possible. So there you go. But if you like Cinderella, if you like that Beauty and the Beast vibe, if you liked Ice Planet Barbarians,
we need to take a moment to appreciate the combination of books that Jordan just made. Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and Ice Planet Barbarians. Like, that is the combination? Like, what? What universe are we living in?
I don't know.
Gates have been opened. We are in a different plane of existence.
If you too need a Hershey bar, this is your book.
That's fair. That's fair. Because there are some days when you just need a little bit of monster romance.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's fair.
I feel drained just talking about this book.
Thank you. This was like a therapy, You're just, I did something a little bit I'm ashamed of, but it was good. And now I'm going to move past it. Wed to the Lich
by Layla Fae. I came upon it by a Reddit recommendation. So thank you, Reddit. Thank you, the fantasy romance subreddit there. And yeah, there we go.
Nice. Well, from Jordan's shelf to yours.
We will see you on the next page or the next candy bar.
Hi, readers. If you'd like to help us pick our next book, send us a message on Instagram.
Or if you'd like to just listen, we post new episodes every Monday and Wednesday on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Thanks for listening.
Bussin'.